Hello and welcome to Fortune Cookies. I have a very special guest today. My girlfriend Janice is here. There she is. She's fabulous.
That's a horrible shot of me.
Janice is also one of my students for tarot, even though she doesn't do it all the time. But she is one of my students. How am I as a teacher? I have a class coming up.
Fantastic.
So, thank you very much. Actually, Janice was pretty funny. The way that I kind of forced tarot on her. Was it during the pandemic?
Well, I was interested in about it because I was working on my my general intuitive skills in my daily life.
And so when she told me that, I was just like, I'm teaching you tarot. And I sent over a bunch of decks and I was like, you have to learn tarot with me. So I'm like, tarot sniper. But she's over here hanging out today. And what we're going to do is the whole week, my theme for the week is going to be all the Stranger Things characters, or not the characters, but the actual actors. They pretty much, their careers are on fire. I did a couple of readings on Joseph Quinn. I did one on him and I thought that was going to be the only one. And then I had predicted some stuff with his agent and then the whole CAA thing came up. So I did a second reading and I did like a 12-month reading for him. But today we are going to do Gaten Matarazzo. So I actually had to look up how to pronounce it, and it's on Google. The gal that's doing it on Google is English, so it was like Gaten Matarazzo.
Well, I knew how to say his last name because it's been on the internet that people think he's related to Heather Matarazzo.
I don't know who's Heather Matarazzo.
Did you ever see Welcome to the Dollhouse?
No.
Or Princess Diaries?
Yes.
She was her Anne Hathaway's friend.
Oh, there was that whole rumor that she was his mom.
Mother.
She's too young to be his mom. But you know what? I was shocked. He was born in 2002. So he's just like a little bit older than my kids. I was like, oh my God.
And in New Jersey.
I get, well, actually, that was one of the things that I looked up. He was born in New Haven, Connecticut. I think it was New Haven, Connecticut. But raised in Little Egg Harbor. We're Jersey girls over here. High five. So we love that he was raised here. You only have to be here for a little while to get the stank of Jersey on you. But so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at how his career is going to go. There's a lot of stuff going on. He has a lot of pokers in the fire. So, of course, we have the whole Stranger thing. So we'll give you a little bit of background on him. He did start on theater, on Broadway in theater. He was an understudy in Godspell that I guess got pushed to the front of the line for whatever reason. He was also in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, and Les Mis. I mean, that's a pretty big line item on your CV there. Currently, he is he still in Dear Evan?
Dear Evan Hansen, I believe so.
Is it still running?
I believe
so he's doing that. He's got the With Honors movie that's coming out. He's got a band called Work in Progress, which is really cool. I had heard they played at the Stone Pony, I guess last year or something. There, it might have been pre-pandemic too. But they had played there, and I was like, oh man, I would have loved to have gone and seen that little dude. And I say little dude because he's like a little kid, but he's not a little kid. He's like an adult. But so we're gonna take a look and just see how his career is going to go. I mean, I was really, really happy about the Joseph Quinn reading. So want to see what we're going to come up with for Gaten. And as always, if this is your first time here, thanks so much for being here. If you're a repeat offender, thank you so much for supporting my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. In the description down below, you will find a link to get your own magical reading with me. You can either book it in person on Zoom, or you can get a video reading if you're out of my time zone, or if you're shy and you don't want to go face to face with me. I know I'm a little aggressive sometimes, psychically aggressive, right, Janice?
New one. I never heard that.
Psychically aggressive. So let's take a look. Let's just see how the next few months are going to go for him, because I'm sure, it's summertime. He's a young kid, again, not a kid, but young adult. and I'm sure he's trying to enjoy himself. So let's see.
He's probably staying in the city. They probably have him set up in the city.
Oh, I can think of nothing worse than staying in the city during the summer. So those of you that aren't from, the tri-state area, New York City, it smells like pee in the summer.
It's just
sticky. Yeah, it's sticky and it's hot. I mean, the buildings do hold in the heat, in my opinion. But not quite as bad as San Francisco this summer, though. San Francisco in the summer definitely smelled like pee. But so if Gaten, if you're watching this, I think you're doing great. Let's see if you're doing great. Let's see what's coming up for you. So we're using the Tarot of the Unknown, this fun little deck. And I actually just saw this deck was out of print, out of stock for a while, and it is currently back in stock on Etsy. Just look it up, Tarot of the Unknown, if you'd like to get it. It's a really cool deck. It's a slick deck, slippery deck. But so there's a lot of stuff that's going on with him in terms of there's some frustration here. Frustration about not having enough of the it's not enough of free time, but it's enough of comprehensive free time. So it looks like the free time is fast and hot. He needs more of a prolonged vacation. He's got a lot of work on his plate, and he's not loving it. But I do think that there is some career advisement that's going on there, that they're saying, you know what, we have to plant these seeds right now. So let's take a look. We'll go a little bit deeper.
Sort of strike the iron while it's hot.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that. Like, yeah, not loving this, and kind of questioning the leadership there. It's a little bit too much work for him. So, the best thing I can tell you is grab your escape hatches when you can and just kind of jump out as needed. We're going to talk a little bit about his charity work. So he does a lot of work with CCD Smile, and I'll put a link to that charity in the description as well, just to kind of boost the not that like my little itty bitty channel is going to make a difference, but just to boost the awareness of that. But that is for the cleidocranial, I don't know if I say that correctly, dysplasia that he has. It's a condition that affects the bones and teeth. It's part of the reason why he has the lisp, and he had the teeth issue in the first couple of seasons of Stranger Things. So we'll talk a little bit about that, because I do know that when things get really heavy and when you get overwhelmed by the work aspect, the work that you're getting and making money at, sometimes it's better to hit pause at, like, for your soul, it's better to hit pause and do your give backs and kind of do that charity work, and that will kind of give you a reset. It gives you an opportunity to reset. So, there definitely is a need for rest. There is rest on the mind. That is our Four of Swords in the standard deck. He does want to take a break, and, he doesn't feel like he's the captain of his own ship. It feels like there's a lot more advisement going on here. A lot of direction. There's a lot of direction that's being given to him. So what should he do? What should he do? So this is an uncoupling card. So we're getting, this is neat. This is very neat. So this is an uncoupling card. This is kind of unusual because we just had the whole situation with Joseph Quinn re-signing. So this is making me think that maybe the agent management shift is kind of something that's on his mind. So the Greg is our Fool card in this deck. And that is proceeding, going forward with a light heart throwing everything up in the air and going, hey, let's see what comes down and let's see what sticks. The lovers is an uncoupling. That's pulling apart. That's taking a break from someone, severing a relationship in some cases. So there is a Queen of Wands here, and there's a Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is a lot of talk and no action. This is somebody who's like, I can get this for you. I can get this for you. And this is somebody who's not really doing what they're supposed to do. And it's kind of like coming up empty. So, well, do you remember the movie Boogie Nights? Do you remember the movie Boogie Nights? Like when Dirk Diggler was doing, and this isn't to say like he's in that realm, but when Dirk Diggler was like really deep into the the addiction and all that, like everybody was kind of advising, oh man, you should do this, he had like a bozo friend who was like telling him he should do all these things,
like when they were singing in the studio.
You got the look. Oh my god. You got the power. I love that scene. That's such a bad song. Yeah, it seems like this guy is offering career advice and just not yielding the results that he's saying that he's going to. However, there is this female. There's a female that is much better at advisement and much better at bringing to fruition the promises that she's setting up. So that may be. I don't feel like it's a change of agency as much as it's just kind of a shift of person. So that's kind of neat. And I think that that'll be a much better fit. She absolutely has a better understanding of the limitations of not. She's trying to work together with all the parts of Gaten, and she does understand that he needs time to himself. And that burnout can happen. And if burnout happens, that he's going to zippity-doo-dah right off into the distance. And right now, he is a moneymaker, which makes me concerned about this dude. I'm a little bit worried that like he's just trying to make some money. What is it, 20% that agents and managers get?
I didn't know 20%.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, he's in a vulnerable part of his career where he's on the cusp of
cusp of like super greatness. So this is a breaking up. This is not and it's got to come to light. So that's kind of neat, and it'll set some new foundations in place so that he can move forward with a much more fruitful and varied career. So and I get the sense psychically, Janice, that this particular individual, it was not so much a bad manager. Oh, this hair is like sticking right in my face. Not so much a bad manager, just not a super, super competent one for someone who's had a career that's starting to catch fire. He's just not as deft as some of the other ones. So, I have a feeling like CAA is going to be talking to him anyway, if they're not already. So that's that for Gaten Matarazzo. So why is it so hard for me to say?
Matarazzo.
So it's probably because I have this hair in my mouth. Well, anyway, so tomorrow we're going to look at Sadie Sink because I love her. I love her. So tune in for tomorrow. Again, please like, share, and subscribe. Description down below, I will have a link to his charity and also a link to get a reading from me if you want to throw some charity my way. But Janice will be here for the next reading as well. I hope all of you have a great day. Thanks so much for being here. See you later.